Hello, everyone, and today we continue our reading of the first book of Enoch, or the Ethiopian book of Enoch. So, we're going to learn a little bit about what this has to say. And last time we read chapters 1 through 12, and today we'll be working through 12, 13 up until 24. So I hope everyone's doing well. All right, hold on just a second, y'all. Let me get this here. And this book is very important for angelology and all of that. So here we go. All right, chapter 13. And Enoch went and said, Azazel. He's speaking to Azazel or Azazel. All right. And Enoch went and said, Azazel, thou shalt have no peace. A severe sentence. By the way, I'm going to leave a link for those that want to buy a copy. A commission link helps to support the channel. And Enoch went and said, Azazel, thou shalt have no peace. A severe sentence has gone forth against thee to put thee in bonds. And thou shalt not have toleration nor request granted to thee, because of the unrighteousness which you have taught, and because of all the works of godlessness and unrighteousness and sin which thou hast shown to men. Then I went and spoke to them all together, and they were all afraid, and fear and trembling seized them. And they besought me to draw up a petition for them, that they might find forgiveness in the presence of the Lord of heaven. For from thenceforward they could not speak with him, nor lift up their eyes to heaven, for shame of their sins for which they have been condemned. Then I wrote out their petition and the prayer in regard to their spirits and their deeds individually, and in regard to their request that they should have forgiveness in length of days. And I went off and sat down at the waters of Dan, in the land of Dan, to the south of the west of Hermon. I read their petition till I fell asleep. And behold, a dream came to me, and visions fell down upon me, and I saw visions of chastisement, and a voice came bidding me to tell it to the sons of heaven and reprimand them. Once again, which is kind of a common theme, humans are called upon to reprimand angels or spirits. Humans have this higher, it's pretty interesting. A human being, Enoch, is sent to reprimand these fallen angels. And and a voice came bidding me to tell it to the sons of heaven and to reprimand them. And when I awakened, I came unto them, and they were all sitting together, weeping in Abel-Sejil, which is between Lebanon and Sennacer, with their faces covered. So the fallen angels had their faces covered. Again, this is the Ethiopian book of Enoch here. They had their faces covered, and I recounted before them all the visions which I had seen in sleep, and I began to speak the words of righteousness and to reprimand the heavenly watchers. So Enoch is sent to reprimand them. Chapter 14. The book of the words of righteousness and of the reprimand of the eternal watchers, in accordance with the command of the Holy Great One. And that vision I saw in my sleep what I will now say with a tongue of flesh and with breath in my mouth, which the Great One has given to men to converse therewith and understand with the heart. And he has created and given to man, humans, the power of understanding the word of wisdom. So hath he created me also and given me the power of reprimanding the watchers. So Enoch, a human being, is given wisdom and power to reprimand the sons of heaven, the children of heaven. I wrote out your petition, and see, again, they wanted Enoch, a human being, to go ask God for forgiveness. So God's like, okay, Enoch, now you're going to go reprimand them. I wrote out my petition, and in my vision it appeared thus, that your petition will not be granted unto you throughout all the days of eternity, and that judgment has been finally passed upon you. Yea, your petition will not be granted unto you. And so he's like playing the role of someone like giving out the sentence. Enoch is, and from henceforth you shall not ascend into heaven unto all eternity. And in the bonds of the earth the decree is gone forth to bind you for all the days of the world. And that previously you shall have seen the destruction of your beloved sons, and you shall have no pleasure in them, but they shall fall before you by the sword. And your petition on their behalf shall not be granted, nor yet on your own, even though you weep and pray and speak all the words contained in the writing which I have written. And the vision was shown to me thus. By the way, I just want to clarify, I'm not getting all fire and brimstone here. No, I'm just reading the book of Enoch. So this is part of our reading. All right, so I'm just a messenger here, kind of like Enoch. He's a messenger. Behold, in the vision, okay. And in the vision was shown me thus. Behold, in the vision clouds invited me, and a mist summoned me. And the course of the stars and the lightning sped and hastened me. And the winds in the vision caused me to fly, and the winds lifted me upward and bore me into heaven. And I went in till I drew nigh to a wall which is built of crystals, and surrounded by tongues of fire. And it began to affright me. And I went into the tongues of fire, and drew near to a large house which was built of crystals. So he's seeing a place in heaven now. And its groundwork was of crystal. Its ceiling was like the path of the stars and the lightnings, and between them were fiery cherubim, and their heaven was clear as water. A flaming fire surrounded the walls, and its portals blazed with fire. And I entered into that house, and it was hot as fire and cold as ice. There were no delights of life therein. Fear covered me, and trembling got hold upon me. And as I quaked and trembled, I fell upon my face, and I beheld a vision, and lo, there was a second house greater than the former. And the entire portal stood open before me, and it was built of flames of fire. And in every respect it so excelled in splendor and magnificence and extent that I cannot describe to you its splendor and its extent. And its floor was of fire, and above it were lightnings in the path of the stars, and its ceiling was also flaming fire. And I looked and saw thereon a lofty throne. Its appearance was as crystal, and the wheels thereof as the shining sun. And there was the vision of the cherubim, with the head of a lion, bull, and eagle. And from underneath the throne came streams of flaming fire, so that I could not look thereon. And the great glory sat thereon, and his raiment shone more brightly than the sun, and was whiter than any snow. None of the angels could enter and behold his face, by reason of the magnificence and glory, and no flesh could behold him. Even the angels couldn't look upon Adonai. So even the angels, as high as they are, they were unable to look upon him for the brightness, because again, he created the angels. The flaming fire was round about him. None of the angels could enter and could behold his face by reason of the magnificence and glory, and no flesh could behold him. The flaming fire was round about him, and a great fire stood before him, and none around could draw near him. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him, and he needed no counselor. And the most holy ones who were near to him did not leave by night nor depart from him. And until then I had been prostrate on my face and trembling. And the Lord called me with his own mouth and said to me, this, who even angels couldn't look at, is suddenly speaking directly to Enoch. Again, showing humanity's special status. Anyways, he said to me, come hither, Enoch, and hear my word. This is God. And one of the holy ones came to me and woke me, and he made me rise up and approach the door, and I bowed my face downwards. Chapter 15. And he answered and said to me, and I heard his voice, Do not fear, Enoch, you righteous human, and scribe of righteousness. Approach here and hear my voice, and go say to the watchers of heaven. Again, he's telling Enoch, you're going to go speak to the watchers for me. Go say to the watchers of heaven, who have sent thee to intercede for them. Again, the watchers, they're coming to Enoch, and he's intermediary. Who have sent thee to intercede for them. You should intercede for men, not men for you. So he told them, go and say to the watchers of heaven, who've sent you to intercede for them, quote, You should intercede for humans, not humans for you. Wherefore have you left the high, holy, and eternal heaven, and lain with women, and defiled yourselves with the daughters of humans, and taken to yourselves wives, and done like the children of earth, and begotten giants as your sons? And though you were holy, spiritual, living the eternal life, you have defiled yourself with the blood of women, and have begotten children with the blood of flesh. And as the children of men have lusted after flesh and blood, as those also who die and perish. Therefore have I given them wives also, that they might impregnate them and beget children by them, that thus nothing might be wanting to them on earth. But you were formerly spiritual, living the eternal life, and immortal for all generations of the world. And therefore I have not appointed wives for you. For as for the spiritual ones of heaven, or partners of flesh, for as the spiritual ones of heaven, in heaven is their dwelling. And now the giants, the Nephilim, who are produced from the spirits and flesh, shall be called evil spirits upon the earth, and on the earth shall be their dwelling. So the Nephilim are now going to be like evil spirits. So the Nephilim are giants. Again, this is just giving a different account, And the giants who are produced from the spirits and the flesh shall be called evil spirits upon the earth, and on the earth shall be their dwelling. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies, because they are born from humans, and from the holy watchers is their beginning and primal origin. They shall be evil spirits on the earth, and evil spirits shall they be called. So the Nephilim will start being called evil spirits, part human and part, watcher. As for the spirits of heaven, in heaven shall be their dwelling. But as for the spirits of the earth, which were born upon the earth shall be their dwelling. And so the Nephilim are earthbound, and these fallen angels. But as for the spirits of the earth, which were born upon the earth shall be their dwelling. And the spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on the earth, and cause trouble. So these are going to be evil spirits, the Nephilim, that attack, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, work destruction on the earth, and cause trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless hunger. They take no food, but nevertheless hunger, and thirst, and cause offenses. And these spirits shall rise against the children of men. So these spirits shall rise against the children of humans and against women, because they have proceeded from them. Chapter 16. Again, we're reading the Ethiopian book of Enoch here. Chapter 16. From the days of the slaughter and destruction and death of the giants, or the Nephilim, from the souls of whose flesh the spirits, having gone forth, shall destroy without incurring judgment. Thus shall they destroy until the day of consummation, the great judgment in which the age shall be consummated over the watchers and the godless, yea, shall be wholly consummated. And now as to the watchers, who have sent thee to intercede for them, who had been aforetime in heaven, say to them, quote, You have been in heaven, but all the mysteries had not yet been revealed to you, and you knew worthless ones, and these in the hardness of your hearts you have made known to the women, and through these mysteries women and men work much evil on earth. Say to them, therefore, you have no peace. Chapter 17. Enoch's journey through earth and Sheol, which is like the Jewish underworld, right? To the land of the dead. So Enoch's going to travel through earth and the underworld, the place of the dead. Chapter 17. And if you don't know what that is, Sheol, that's like a whole other thing to look into. Sheol in English, Sheol. So, and they took and brought me to a place. So this is chapter 17. And they took and brought me to a place in which those who were there were like flaming fire. And when they wished, they appeared as men. And they brought me to the place of darkness, and to a mountain, the point of whose summit reached to heaven. And I saw the place of the luminaries, and the treasuries of the stars, and of the thunder, and in the uttermost depths, where were a fiery bow, and arrows, and their quiver, and a fiery sword, and all the lightnings. And they took me to the living waters, and to the fire of the west, which receives every setting of the sun. And I came to a river of fire, in which the fire flows like water, and discharges itself into the great sea toward the west. I saw the great rivers, and came to the great river, and to the great darkness, and went to the place where no flesh walks. I saw the mountains of the darkness of winter, and the place whence all the waters of deep flow. I saw the mouths of all the rivers of the earth, and the mouth of the deep. Chapter 18. Chapter 18. I saw the treasuries of all the winds. I saw how he had furnished with them the whole creation and the firm foundations of the earth. So Enoch is now being shown all these mysteries, all these things. This is Enoch, again a human being. I saw the treasuries of all the winds. I saw how he had furnished with them the whole creation and the firm foundations of the earth. And I saw the cornerstone of the earth. I saw the four winds which bear the earth and the firmament of the heaven. And I saw how the winds stretch out the vaults of heaven and have their station between heaven and earth. These are the pillars of heaven. I saw the winds of heaven which turn and bring the circumference of the sun and all the stars to their setting. I saw the winds of the earth carrying the clouds. I saw the paths of the angels. I saw at the end of the earth the firmament of the heaven above. And I proceeded and saw a place which burns day and night, where there are 7 mountains of magnificent stones, 3 toward the east, 3 toward the south. And as for those towards the east, one was of a colored stone, and one of pearl, and one of jacinth, and those towards the south a red stone. The middle one reached to heaven like the throne of God, of alabaster, and the summit of the throne was of sapphire. Again, very specific. And I saw a flaming fire, and beyond these mountains is a region, the end of the great earth. There the heavens were completed, and I saw a deep abyss with columns of heavenly fire. And among them I saw columns of fire fall, which were beyond measure, alike towards the height and towards the depth. And beyond the abyss I saw a place which had no firmament of the heaven above, and no firmly founded earth beneath it. There was no water upon it, and no birds, but it was a waste and horrible place. I saw there 7 stars, like great burning mountains, and to me, when I inquired regarding them, the angel said, "This place is the end of heaven and earth. This has become a prison for the stars and the host of heaven, and the stars which roll over the fire are they which have transgressed the commandments of the Lord in the beginning of their rising, because they did not come forth at their appointed times. And he was wroth with them and bound them till the time when their guilt should be consummated even for 10,000 years." Chapter 19. And Uriel. So here the angel Uriel appears. And again, we're reading the first book of Enoch. the Ethiopian book of Enoch, chapter 19. And Oriel said to me, Here shall stand the angels who have connected themselves with women, and their spirits assuming many different forms are defiling mankind and shall lead them astray and to sacrificing to demons as gods. Here shall they stand till the day of the great judgment, in which they shall be judged till they are made an end of. And the women also of the angels who went astray shall become sirens. So that's interesting. So hold on a minute. Again, I'm not saying that I agree with all this. Hey, Frater Oz, how are you doing? So today, I'm not saying I agree with all this, but I'm reading the first book of Enoch. So it's interesting. Okay. And the women also of the angels who went astray shall become sirens. And I, Enoch, alone saw the vision, the ends of all things, and no man shall see as I have seen them. All right, chapter 20. And these are the names of the holy angels who watch. Uriel, one of the holy angels who is over the world and over Tartarus or hell. Raphael, one of the holy angels who is over the spirits of men. Ragiel, one of the holy angels who takes vengeance on the world of the luminaries. Mikael, one of the holy angels, to wit, he is that is set over the best part of mankind, and over chaos. Sarachiel, one of the holy angels who is set over the spirits, who sin in the spirit. Gabriel or Gabriel, one of the holy angels who is over paradise and the serpents and the cherubim. Remiel, one of the holy angels whom God set over those who rise. Chapter 21. Preliminary and final place of punishment of the fallen angels or stars. It's interesting, it refers to the fallen angels as stars. So now we're on chapter 21, and we're going to go to chapter 24 today. Chapter 24 is interesting because it mentions the tree of life. And anyway, so chapter 21. And I proceeded to where things were chaotic, and I saw there something horrible. I saw neither a heaven above nor a firmly founded earth, but a place chaotic and horrible. And there I saw 7 stars of the heaven bound together in it, like great mountains and burning with fire. Then I said, For what sin are they bound, and on what account have they been cast here? Then said Uriel, one of the holy angels, who was with me, and was chief over them, and said, Enoch, why do you ask, and why are you eager for the truth? These are the number of the stars of heaven, which have transgressed the commandment of the Lord, and are bound here till 10,000 years. The time entailed by their sins are consummated. And from there I went to another place, which was still more horrible than the former. And I saw a horrible thing, a great fire there, which burnt and blazed, and the place was cleft as far as the abyss, being full of great descending columns of fire. Neither its extent or magnitude could I see, nor could I conjecture. Then I said, How fearful is the place, and how terrible to look upon! Then Uriel answered me, one of the holy angels who was with me, and said to me, Enoch, why have you such fear and affright? And I answered, Because of this fearful place, and because of the spectacle of the pain. And he said unto me, This place is the prison of the angels, and here they will be imprisoned forever. Chapter 22. Sheol, or the underworld. Now this is interesting because, Sheol is like the place of the dead. And thence I went to another place, and he showed me in the west another great and high mountain, and of hard rock. And there was in it 4 hollow places. So this is the land of the dead, and the book of Enoch, or Sheol. Which I know people are thinking, what about heaven and hell and all this type of stuff? Well, this is like, that's a whole can of worms to go into. Sheol Sheol, the underworld. It's like all dead humans like went to the same place. Everyone went to Sheol, okay? So anyways, this is the land of the dead, Sheol. What's going on, y'all? What's up, Frater Oz and Edmund? What's going on, y'all? Alright. So thence I went to another place, and he showed me another height and high mountain and of hard rock. You got a shout out on my videos. This might be one of those that ends up like 100,000. It'd be cool. Everybody got a shout out. All right. So anyways, this is the underworld. Back to this. Chapter 22. And from there I went to another place, and he showed me in the west. In the west. Interesting. Another great and high mountain and of hard rock. And there was in it 4 hollow places, deep and wide and very smooth. How smooth are the hollow places, and deep and dark to look at. And there were 4 hollow places in it, deep and very smooth. Wait, it's just repeating that. Then Raphael answered, one of the holy angels who was with me, and said unto me, These hollow places have been created for this very purpose, that the spirits of the souls of the dead should assemble therein. Yea, that all the souls of the children of men should assemble here, and these places have been made to receive them till the day of their judgment, and till their appointed period, till the period appointed, till the great judgment comes upon them. I saw this, so this is talking about the land of the dead. This is like where the dead went until the time of judgment, according to the book of Enoch. I saw the spirits of the children of men, or humans, who were dead, and their voice went forth to heaven, and made suit. Then I asked Raphael the angel who was with me, and I said to him, This spirit, who is it whose voice goes forth and makes suit? And he answered me, saying, This is the spirit which went forth from Abel, whom his brother Cain slew. And he makes his suit against him till his seed is destroyed from the face of the earth, and his seed is annihilated from amongst the seed of men. Then I asked regarding it, and regarding all the hollow places, Why as one separated from the other? And he answered me and said to me, These 3 have been made that the spirits of the dead might be separated. And such a division has been made for the spirits of the righteous, in which there as the bright spring of water, and as such have been made for sinners, when they die and are buried in the earth, and judgment has not been executed on them in their lifetime. Here their spirit shall be set apart in this great pain till the great day of judgment, and punishment and torment, of whose curse forever, and retribution for their spirits. There he shall bind them forever, and such a division has been made for the spirits of those who make their suit, who make disclosures concerning their destruction, when they were slain in the days of the sinners. Such has been made for the spirits of men who were not righteous but sinners. Basically awful people, essentially. Who were complete in transgression, and of the transgressors they shall be companions. But their spirit shall not be slain in the day of judgment, nor shall they be raised from thence. Then I blessed the Lord of glory, and said, Blessed be my Lord, the God of righteousness, who ruleth forever. Chapter 23. The fire that deals with the luminaries of heaven. From there I went to another place to the west of the ends of the earth, and I saw a burning fire, which ran without resting, and paused not from its course day or night, but ran regularly. And I asked, saying, What is this which rests not? Then Ragiel, one of the holy angels who was with me, answered me and said unto me, This course of fire which you have seen is the fire in the west, which persecutes all the luminaries of heaven. And now we get to the final chapter here, chapter 24, the 7 mountains of the northwest, and the tree of life. So here we go. All right. And from there I went to another place of earth, and he showed me a mountain range of fire, which burnt day and night, and I went beyond it. and saw 7 magnificent mountains, all differing from each other. And the stones thereof were magnificent and beautiful, magnificent as a whole, of glorious appearance and fair exterior, 3 towards the east, one founded on the other, and 3 towards the south, one upon the other, and deep through rough ravines, no one of which joined with any other. And the 7th mountain was in the midst of these. So one is towards the east, the other towards the south, and one in the midst. All right. And the 7th mountain was in the midst of these, and it excelled them in height, and resembled the seat of a throne. And fragrant trees encircled the throne, and amongst them was a tree such as I had never yet smelt, the tree of life. And amongst them was a tree unlike any I have ever smelt. Neither was any amongst them, nor were any others like it. It had a fragrance beyond all fragrance, and its leaves and blooms and wood wither not forever, and its fruit is beautiful, and its fruit resembles the dates of the palm. And I said, how beautiful is this tree, and fragrant, and its leaves are fair, and its blooms very delightful in appearance. Then answered Michael, or Mikael. Then answered Michael, one of the holy and honored angels who was with me and was their leader. I'll go ahead into chapter 25. And he said to me, Enoch, why do you ask me regarding the fragrance of the tree? And why do you wish to learn the truth? I answered him. Again, he's talking to Michael here. I wish to know about everything, but especially about this tree. And he answered, saying, this high mountain which you have seen, whose summit is like the throne of God, is his throne, where the Holy Great One, the Lord of glory, the eternal King, will sit, when he shall come down to visit the earth with goodness. And as for this fragrant tree, no mortal is permitted to touch it, till the great judgment, when he shall take vengeance on all and bring everything to its consummation forever. It shall then be given to the righteous and holy. Its fruit shall be for food to the elect. It shall be transplanted to the holy place, to the temple of the Lord, the eternal King. Then shall they rejoice with joy and be glad, and into the holy place shall they enter. And the fragrance of this tree shall be in their bones, and they shall live a long life on earth, such as thy fathers lived. And in their days shall no sorrow or plague or torment or calamity touch them. Then blessed I the God of glory, the eternal King, who hath prepared such things for the righteous, and hath created them and promised to give to them. All right, chapter 26. I think we're going to hold off on the rest of that. That was a lot. But we're working through the book of Enoch, and the first book of Enoch, or Ethiopian book of Enoch. And this is something that people have asked me for quite a while. Hi, Gypsy, how are you doing? Mountain Shasta. Let me see here. All right. Frauder Oz says, what's going on, y'all? Try to come see what you're getting up to over here. Oh, just doing some reading here. So, the book of Enoch, this is something people have asked a lot about. And I do go into a lot of Shem Angel and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to be working through the 3 books of Enoch. Once again, I'm not saying that I agree with everything in it, but it's a historical document, and it's outside of, what people think of as the mainstream biblical narrative. So it's very interesting. So we're going to go a little deeper here. Again, this is from the Ethiopian book of Enoch, which goes into, first of all, basically the cause of the fall of the Watchers. Basically, they lusted after they wanted human wives, and they bore children, the Nephilim, the giants. And the story is they taught us magic and enchantments and cutting roots and all these things. And then there was a bunch of havoc wreaked all over the earth. And so basically the flood had to happen, and Enoch is sent to the fallen angels asked Enoch to go to God and be like, hey, can you help him out? Forgive him. And then Enoch is then sent to reprimand them and say, no, you're doomed forever and eternity and all this type of stuff until the last day. And then Enoch is being taken to all these places and kind of shown this kind of cosmos or whatever, right? It's being shown kind of the world. So that is, again, today we actually went over a little bit. We read the first book of Enoch, or Ethiopian book of Enoch, chapters 13 through 26. And then we're going to pick up the next time, and we're going to keep reading through these. This actually gets pretty interesting. So, yeah, very, very interesting literature. So, yep, that's coming up. Frater Oz says aliens. Yeah, the Nephilim. Anyway, I want to be careful what I say here, even joking, because people take anything I say seriously. But some people do take that interpretation, that the Nephilim, you know. But, yeah, pretty interesting stuff. So, that's it for our reading today. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, I got Frater Oz on here. Let's see. Cool, though. When are you doing the Watchers? Let me see. Third book and the first mention, okay, of Metatron. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. You know, Enoch is it's believed that some part of his tradition is that Enoch was transfigured to become Metatron, who's like the greatest of the angels. In fact, Metatron is often called like lesser YHVH. Lesser, you know. It's interesting. Metatron is like the highest of the angels, and yet Enoch is sometimes said, you know, he's transfigured and becomes, Metatron. It's pretty interesting. And the third book of Enoch actually mentions like the 72 spirits that are sent under Rahatiel, who controls the turning of the constellations. So it's just really interesting, you know, you go through these. So the first book of Enoch, the Ethiopian book of Enoch, I'm just reading the back here, consists of the book of the Watchers, the book of Parables, the book of the Heavenly Luminaries, the book of Dreams, and the Epistle of Enoch. Second Enoch is the book of the Secrets of Enoch, and then, you know, the Hebrew book of Enoch. You've got like Hecalot stuff. He's being shown the different palaces in heaven, and yeah, pretty interesting stuff. All right, y'all. Well, that's great to hear it, Gypsy. All right, y'all. Got some viewers on here. Let me see. All right, y'all. So more stuff coming out with this. And that's just our reading for today, and we're going to keep moving through this stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you y'all that dropped in to say hello. Very cool and unexpected. And yeah. All right, y'all. I will see y'all in the next video, y'all. All right. Have a great day, y'all. All right.